Welcome to Safe Action. My name is Andrew Kohler. This is the Wise Defender podcast where we talk about guns, training, and all kinds of stuff that helps you become a wise defender. Today, I want to specifically talk about how to buy the gun, like the process of buying the gun that you're interested in. So I'm going to kind of walk through some of this step by step. I reside in the state of Oregon, so I'm going to go through Oregon's process specifically. Depending on the state you live in, your rules may vary. I know that, this is October, the year of our Lord 2025, so things are changing rapidly. Measure 114 is not yet in effect, and I know once it is, there are going to be some new rules on how to buy a gun. But as it stands today, this is basically the process. And if you're like, man, I want to buy a gun before Measure 114 goes into effect, these are some of the things that you're going to want to think about. Number one is give yourself enough time. It's helpful if you go into the gun shop already knowing what you want to buy. But let's say you don't. Let's say you're like, okay, man, I don't know. I know I want a gun, but I don't know what gun I want. Then make sure you give yourself enough time to look and peruse and try a few different things. If they have a shooting range, give yourself enough time to go on the range and shoot a few different guns. But either way, even if you're like, man, I know what gun I want, and your goal is to go in, just give them money, grab it, and leave, like it's not going to work that way. You do need to give yourself enough time to go through the background check process. So when it comes to doing the background check process, this is something that you're going to want to get started on right away. And if you go to an established gun shop, they should have their method of efficiency down. They get your ID from you and they start getting you filled in the background system. And one thing I will say, these are two things to keep in mind. Number one is it can be very tempting to chat it up with the person who's handling your paperwork and your background stuff. If you talk with them, just know that you're likely slowing them down. And also, increasing the opportunity for them to make mistakes because you're dividing their attention. So ideally, whoever's running your background for you and helping you with your 4473, maybe just kind of like let them do their thing and, entertain yourself. But one thing I also do want to mention is it is the state of Oregon. Just know that there are a couple things that could prevent you from getting a firearm that day. And that's number one, giving someone the idea that you might be under the influence. I would recommend not bringing up drugs or discussing drugs or joking about drugs at all during the process of getting your firearm, because if they have any reasonable suspicion that you are under the influence of drugs in that moment, your purchase will probably be denied. They will deny you and end that transaction right there. Another thing is there's something that's referred to as a straw purchase, and that basically means that you're buying a gun for someone else, and that's a big no-no. So don't even joke about purchasing a gun like, oh yeah, I can't wait for my buddy to get his hands on this. He's gonna love this thing. And it's like, wait, are you buying this for you or for someone else? And now all of a sudden it's like, wait, well, we're doing the background check for you, but if this gun is for someone else, if it's going to be in someone else's possession, they're the one who needs to do the background check. And it just opens up a can of worms that you just don't want to open up. Even if you're like, what, dude, I was just joking, or I was talking about going shooting with a friend, or, even if you're like, no, I have a plan in my mind that this is going to end up eventually in the hands of a family member that's a direct blood relative, and that's not a problem. Like all of those things, even if you're like, hey, this is legal here, I would not bring up anything about that topic of the gun and its ownership. Like, you're buying the gun, you're doing the background check, it's your gun. That's what it is, right? So just know that if you make comments or jokes that may give the person who's processing your paperwork questions about whether or not you are the actual final owner of the gun, then they might decide to just end that transaction. So I'm not encouraging anybody to do anything illegal. I'm not encouraging anybody to lie on their paperwork. I would actually heavily advocate, do not do a straw purchase. Do not lie on your paperwork. But just know that even joking comments that you might make could end your transaction, and they'll like, hey, sorry man, I can't sell this to you, and you're like, oh man, you have to go somewhere else. So keep that in mind. Okay, one other thing that, in the spirit of being prepared, that you want to do is come with a valid state-issued ID. In the state of Oregon, a voter registration card can count, but ideally it's, like your driver's license, or you could use a passport, but you need something with your name on it and your current address. This is very important. In the state of Oregon, the DMV has this new-ish policy where they don't require you to update your address on your physical license. And at first you're like, oh, that's kind of cool, right? Like, oh, I don't have to go and stand in line or have them mail something to me. And I put like a annoying little sticker on my license with my updated address. They're like, oh, no, you just keep it as is. We got it in our system. It's updated. Sounds convenient. It's actually not. And I've actually gone into the DMV to get a new license when I moved, specifically because I want to buy guns. And if you give them your license and it's your name, but it's not your current address, then it's like, sorry, this won't work. So just make sure you're going in with valid state-issued credentials, or something that has, it's some form of ID that has your name and your current address, and it has to be, again, state issued or some kind of federal ID. Unfortunately, your Netflix bill won't do it. So that's something to be mindful of. 4473s. So eventually the time will come to fill out the scary paperwork. It's really not that bad. You just have to read it carefully, and just know that if you make a mistake, you're probably going to have to start over. Sometimes they let you do the whole cross out an initial thing, but it's cleaner just to start completely over if you make a mistake. It's not a big deal, just slows the process down. So make sure you're reading it carefully. In my experience, the one that people struggle with is there's a section where it says county, but people who are reading it too fast think it says country, and so they put USA when they should have put Washington or Clackamas or something like that. So make sure you're reading it carefully. And then after your paperwork's, that you fill out the 4473 and all of that stuff is going and the background check is going, then you can go look around and, entertain yourself, look at products, maybe get the accessories that you wanted to buy, find some ammo. But I would wait to do that and get your paperwork going first. Depending on what's going on, it could take, 20 minutes for your background to go through and for you to get approved. Or it could take hours, or it could even take days. So just kind of have that in your mind as well. Political happenings tend to increase the wait time. During COVID, wait times were up to several weeks. I knew someone who had to wait about a month to get their gun, which is another thing. Some stores will honor the 3-day rule, which basically is saying that after 3 days, you can come and collect your firearm. And then if, the background check finally goes through and it's discovered that you shouldn't have that firearm, well, now that is law enforcement's duty to come and get that from you. But you can call ahead and just see, hey, how does your gun shop handle the 3-day rule thing? Some of them do that, some of them don't. But that's just something that you can kind of keep in mind. But you can also call ahead and just ask, hey, how long are background checks taking right now? And they should be able to give you a pretty good idea. So again, that just has to do with planning and preparing, giving yourself enough time. But then after your background check says that you're approved, you can pay for the gun, take it, and any of your accessories. If you do have to leave early though, let's say they're like, sorry man, this is going to take hours, and you're like, well, I gotta go, then most gun shops are cool with you coming back the next day to get it, or whenever next that they are open. You should be able to at least buy your accessories that day. So if you're like, oh man, I want to get these mags before they go out of stock, buy what you can that's not a serialized firearm, and you can take that stuff home and just come back for the gun itself. But once your background check goes through, you can take possession of your gun, and then it's up to you to go get training and be a safe and responsible gun owner. So I hope this helps. And again, all of this is going to change once Measure 114 is in effect. I don't know. We'll know more as time goes on. But in the meantime, if you're like, well, I want to get a gun immediately, hopefully this is at least somewhat helpful.